Welcome to our channel. Today we're embarking on an epic journey through the history of one of the most iconic cities in the world, New York. From its humble beginnings as a Dutch trading post to its current status as a global metropolis, New York City has a rich and fascinating history that has shaped not only the United States but the entire world. Whether you're a history buff, a New York enthusiast, or just curious about how this incredible city came to be, this video is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the captivating story of New York City. The native inhabitants and early exploration. Before New York was New York, it was home to the Lenape people, a Native American tribe who called the island Mannahatta, meaning island of many hills. The Lenape lived in harmony with the land, fishing in the rivers, hunting in the forests, and cultivating crops. Their society was complex, with a rich culture and deep spiritual connection to the land. The first European to lay eyes on Mannahatta was Giovanni da Verrazzano, an Italian explorer sailing under the French flag. In 1524, he sailed into New York Harbor, but he didn't stay long. It wasn't until 1609 that Henry Hudson, an Englishman working for the Dutch East India Company, explored the area in greater detail. Hudson's voyage up the river that now bears his name marked the beginning of European interest in the region. Dutch New Amsterdam. In 1624, the Dutch established a trading post on the southern tip of Manhattan Island, which they named New Amsterdam. The settlement was primarily a commercial venture, focused on the lucrative fur trade with the Native Americans. The Dutch West India Company, which controlled the colony, encouraged settlers to come to New Amsterdam by offering land and trading opportunities. One of the most famous stories from this period is the purchase of Manhattan from the Lenape in 1626. According to legend, Peter Minuit, the director of the colony, bought the 1626 island for 60 guilders worth of goods, often said to be equivalent to $24. While the exact details of the transaction are debated, it's clear that the Dutch saw great potential in the area. New Amsterdam grew slowly but steadily, with a diverse population of Dutch, English, French, and African settlers. The colony was governed by a series of directors, the most famous of whom was Peter Stuyvesant, who ruled with an iron fist from 1647 until the English takeover in 1664. English rule and the birth of New York. In 1664, during the Second Anglo-Dutch War, the English seized New Amsterdam without a fight. King Charles II granted the territory to his brother, the Duke of York, who renamed it New York in his honor. The English period saw significant changes in the colony, including the introduction of English common law and the establishment of a more formal government. Under English rule, New York continued to grow, becoming a major port and trading hub. The population became even more diverse, with immigrants from all over Europe and enslaved Africans brought to work on the farms and in the homes of the wealthy. The late 17th and early 18th centuries were marked by political and social upheaval. The colony was deeply divided between the wealthy elite, who controlled much of the land and trade, and the poorer settlers, who struggled to make a living. This tension erupted in 1689 with Leisler's Rebellion, a populist uprising against the colonial government. The American Revolution and New York's role. New York played a crucial role in the American Revolution. As one of the largest and most important cities in the colonies, it was a key strategic target for both the British and the Continental Army. In 1776, after a series of battles, the British captured New York City and held it for the duration of the war. During the occupation, New York was a center of espionage, intrigue, and conflict. The infamous Nathan Hale was captured and executed by the British in New York, and the city was the site of numerous skirmishes and battles. The Great Fire of 1776 destroyed much of the city, adding to the suffering of its residents. After the war, New York briefly served as the capital of the United States. George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States in New York City in 1789, and the first Congress met there. However, the capital was moved to Philadelphia in 1790, and later to Washington, D.C. The 19th century and the rise of modern New York. The 19th century was a period of explosive growth and transformation for New York City. The opening of the Erie Canal in 1825 connected New York to the Great Lakes, making it the primary gateway for goods and people moving between the interior of the United States and the rest of the world. This cemented New York's status as the nation's leading port and commercial center. The city's population exploded, fueled by waves of immigrants from Europe. By the mid-19th century, New York was the largest city in the United States and one of the most diverse. Neighborhoods like Five Points became infamous for their poverty and crime, while the wealthy built grand mansions along Fifth Avenue. The Civil War, 1861 to 1865, had a profound impact on New York. The city was a major center of industry and finance, and its banks and factories played a crucial role in supporting the Union war effort. However, the war also brought social unrest, culminating in the draft riots of 1863, one of the deadliest civil disturbances in American history. And that's where we'll pause for today. We've journeyed from the Lenape's Manhattan to the chaos of the Civil War and the explosive growth of the 19th century. But New York's story is far from over. In Part 2, we'll explore the Gilded Age's glittering skyscrapers, the Roaring Twenties' jazz-filled streets, and the city's struggle through the Great Depression and World War II. If you're loving this deep dive into New York's past, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss Part 2. Let us know in the comments what surprised you most about early New York. See you next time.